Well, hello viewers, welcome to News and Trends. You're watching the Daily News Bulletin with me, KV Nurumi. In the next 10 minutes, we will try to bring you all the latest news and updates on the COVID 19 pandemic from across the world, the country, the region, and from the state as well. So stay tuned. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. State government to constitute an advisory committee on COVID 19 to formulate longer term strategies to deal with the pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the war against COVID-19 pandemic has become a people's movement in the country and the people are rising to the occasion to help each other. And COVID-19 cases in the country climb to 26,496, death toll rises to 824 and global coronavirus death toll crosses 2 lakhs. Now the details. The state government has constituted a advisory committee on COVID-19 to formulate longer-term strategies to deal with COVID-19. The decision was taken yesterday at a meeting convened by the Chief Minister and Chairman of State Disaster Management Authority (SDMA) to review the preparedness and mitigation measures being undertaken by the state government in the wake of COVID-19. The advisory committee, comprised of experts from medicine, socio-economic, supply chain, disaster management and emergency response, would advise the state government to take incremental comprehensive measures on the containment of COVID-19. The committee would also seek advice of international experts as and when the need arises. The meeting was held at the residential office of the Chief Minister at Kohima yesterday, attended by the members of SDMA and State Executive Committee. The members reviewed the preparedness and mitigation measures taken by the state government, such as containment, contingency plan, procurement of medical equipment, essential goods, setting up of BSL lab, distribution of relief rice in all districts, financial assistance to the stranded students, working people and patients, activation of surveillance team, setting up of war room and state level control room, setting up of a control room in all districts and sealing of international border along Myanmar and interstate border. The members expressed satisfaction at the activities undertaken by the SDMA to deal with the crisis. SDMA also accorded in principle approval to bring out blueprint of the state COVID-19 response and control program in order to have an incremental containment of COVID-19. The war against COVID-19 pandemic has become a people's movement in the country and the people are rising to the occasion to help each other, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said today. This people-driven fight against the virus would be discussed in the future, he said, adding, I bow down to you all. The Prime Minister also acknowledged the contribution of the state governments, saying they have played a very active role. City or a village, everywhere we can see people involved in the fight against the pandemic. While some are feeding the poor, others are selling land to raise money for this fight, yet others are contributing their pension, Prime Minister Modi said in his monthly radio address Man Ki Baat today. He also made it clear that the state governments had pressed for an extension of the lockdown. The state governments of the country have also acted with great responsibility in this, managing the situation round the clock. I have been in continuous touch with the states on how the fight against corona should progress in India. Everyone has suggested that the lockdown should be continued. Many states have in fact already decided and declared to continue the lockdown, he had said. The Ministry of Home Affairs has issued a clarification based on a revised notification regarding shops published on Friday. MHA has clarified that all restaurants, barber shops and saloons to remain shut. In view of queries coming from various sections of society, it is clarified that all restaurants, saloons, barber shops will remain closed. They render services and the relaxations given under lockdown restrictions on Saturday pertain only to shops selling items as per the new order. The new order also said that all shops in rural areas, while for urban areas, all standalone shops, neighborhood shops and shops in residential complexes are allowed to open. Market complexes and shopping malls will remain shut. It is clarified that the sale by e-commerce companies will continue to be permitted only for essential goods, the ministry said. The government has also banned the sale of liquor under the national directives for COVID-19 management. Shops in containment zones, hotspots will remain shut. The country has so far recorded 1,990 coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, its biggest single-day spike so far, taking the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country to 26,496, while the death toll rose to 824. Health Ministry data said the number of active COVID-19 cases stood at 19,868. As many as 5,803 people have been cured or discharged and one had migrated. Health Ministry data said Maharashtra has the highest number of 7,628 cases, followed by Gujarat with 3,071 and Delhi with 2,625 cases. Highest number of 323 people have lost lives in Maharashtra. Gujarat has reported 133 deaths, Madhya Pradesh 99 and Delhi 54 deaths. In the northeast, Meghalaya and Assam have reported a fatality each, according to the ministry data. Assam have registered 36 infections, Meghalaya has 12, Manipur and Tripura have 2 coronavirus patients each, while Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh have reported a case each. The World Health Organization has said that there is currently no evidence that people who have recovered from COVID-19 and have antibodies are protected from the second infection. WHO said no study has evaluated whether the presence of antibodies to SARS-CoV-2 confers immunity to subsequent infection by this virus in humans. WHO said there is still a lack of sufficient evidence for the effectiveness of antibody-mediated immunity to guarantee the accuracy of an immunity passport or risk-free certificate. According to the UN agency, laboratory tests that detect antibodies to SARS-CoV-2 in people, including rapid immunodiagnostic tests, need further validation to determine their accuracy and reliability. Global deaths linked to the coronavirus passed the 2 lakhs on Saturday, while confirmed cases are expected to hit 3 million in the coming days, according to sources. More than half of the fatalities have been reported in the United States, Spain, and Italy. The first death linked to the virus was reported in January 10 in Wuhan, China. It took 91 days for the death toll to pass 1 lakh and a further 16 days to reach 2 lakhs, according to sources. The United States had reported more than 52,400 deaths as of Saturday morning, while Italy, Spain, and France have reported between 22,000 to 26,000 fatalities each. Of the top 20 most severely affected countries, Belgium has reported the highest number of fatalities per capita with 6 deaths per 10,000 people, compared to 4.9 in Spain and 1.6 in the United States. Around 8% of all cases reported in the US have been fatal, while more than 10% of cases reported in Spain and Italy have resulted in deaths. Asia and Latin America have each reported more than 7,000 deaths, while the Middle East has reported upwards of 8,800. The current toll in Africa is around 1,350. Let's take a look at some of the news that's coming in from the rest of the districts of Nagaland. Personnel of SDRF and NDRF were given a one-day training on how to effectively tackle the COVID-19 pandemic in Kohima yesterday by the Office of the Chief Medical Officer, Kohima. The training included a detailed presentation of 3 important topics, namely Introduction to COVID-19, Kohima District Containment Plan, and Personal Protective Measures. Deputy CMO Kohima, Dr. Hoito Sema, was the resource person at the training. ESC parent Vile Fukri launched the free ration distribution program under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana PMGKY scheme at Fair Price Shop Parent Town yesterday. While launching the program, the ESC stated that the Government of India has launched the scheme for relief during the COVID-19 crisis, and under PMGKY scheme, priority household and AAY ration card holders under the National Food Security Act will receive 5 kgs of rice per person per family free of cost for 3 consecutive months, that is, for the month of April, May and June. Convener in Powered Group, Dimapur District, also the APC and Commissioner Secretary Agriculture Waikato Sema convened a meeting of Dimapur District Core Committee on Friday in the conference hall of Hotel Saramati in Dimapur. The committee was formed basically to oversee the preparedness for institutional quarantine, observation, and to facilitate the people returning to the state after the lockdown period. The committee was formed basically to oversee the preparedness for institutional quarantine, observation, and to facilitate the people returning to the state after the lockdown period. In the meeting, Kheto reiterated that the government has been focusing more in Dimapur district owing to the fact that Nagaland would fail if Dimapur fails. To fight the pandemic, we need 4Cs, that is cooperation, coordination, confidence, and contribution, he added. Secretary Food and Civil Supplies Honje Konyak informed that he has physically verified all the hotels in Dimapur and highlighted on the available accommodation. Deputy Commissioner Zanavoto Peter Lichamo has informed all shops selling essential commodities will be allowed to open on all working days of the week from 7 a.m. to 12 noon. In a notification, the Deputy Commissioner has informed all shopkeepers to wear masks during business hours compulsorily. In a notification, the Deputy Commissioner has informed all shopkeepers to wear masks during business hours compulsorily. He had also asked all shoppers should wear masks and maintain social distancing at all times. The notification also stated that transportation of pigs from Assam or other districts is totally banned till further notice with immediate effect. We now take you to Kohima, where the briefing is being made by the state government on the status of COVID-19 in the state.
Good evening. A total of 613 samples of suspected cases have been sent for testing from the state up till 3 p.m. today. The results of all these samples have been received and all are negative. Presently, a total of 36 persons are under facility quarantine in the state. As regards the surveillance activities being carried out in the containment zone in Dimapur, in connection with the COVID-19 positive person of Dimapur detected in Guwahati, up till now, a total of 5,667 persons have been interviewed, covering 1,005 households. Further, in connection with the positive case, a total of 427 samples have been sent from the state for testing and all have tested negative. The position of availability of food grains, medicines, POL, and other essential commodities continue to be normal in the state.
Well, that's all we have for you in this edition. Do subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and also follow us on Twitter. Do stay tuned as we try to bring lots more of these news and updates through this medium. Meanwhile, we once again request you to take cognizance of all the directives issued by the government from time to time in order to contain the spread of COVID-19. Meanwhile, stay home and stay safe. From all of us here is bye for now, and thanks for watching.